Greetings, everyone. My name is Bee Nicole.
And I'm LC Frazier, and we would like to welcome you to
So, Sista Speak.
Yes.
Today's
Welcome.
topic is dating. But before we jump into our discussion, I first want to check in with my sister LC. How are you feeling today?
Yes, I am good. I am grateful. I am surviving. I have everything that I need, and when I need more, it will be provided to me. That has been my mantra for the last week. So I'm good. I'm trusting everything that is what it should be and will be what it's supposed to be. How are you, my dear?
Ashe to that. I too am feeling very grateful to share this space with you, to release, to learn, to heal with everyone joining us today. I'm feeling super creative. And yeah, I'm ready to jump right on in. I'm so excited to
Yes.
be here.
Yes, dating is always a fun topic to discuss and it's always prevalent. So, yeah, let's dig into this. Let's do it.
Awesome dating. Okay, so Elsie, how would you define dating? Like, what is
Yeah,
dating to you?
I know, right? What is dating to me? I feel like as a millennial, it's always difficult to answer that question. But in my opinion, dating it's a combination of hanging out. It's a combination of getting to know a person, and it's a combination of seeing if y'all vibe, right? And if those vibes line up in a way that might convince you to commit, especially in a time where we don't feel like we just do what we want. We just chill. We Netflix and chill. But yeah, I think the stuff that you do together to see what could become of it is the dating process. That's for me. What about you?
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. We are very much so a next Netflix and chill generation. And for me, dating is way more than that. You know, yeah, maybe Netflix and chill will be dropped in there, but it is a period of learning, number one, yourself, learning your potential partner, building a solid foundation within your friendship, because that's what it is. Your friendship is experiencing things together. And like you said, it is determining if you feel as though the connection is strong enough to continue to build upon it. And let it go up from there, or let it stay exactly where it is, or let it burn in hell, child. Let it burn. That's what dating is to me. I feel like or I'm not going to say we, I feel like I have made my own definition along the way.
Mhm.
Because again, I'm a part of that Netflix and chill generation, but I think the general scope, that's what dating means.
Yeah. No, I think that's a really great thing to say is that you made it up along the way, because that is also a thing that we do. And knowing that we were going to talk about this, I was like, let me look up dating. Like I know what I think dating is, but let's just see what my favorite dictionary says about dating, which is Urban Dictionary. That's just my favorite dictionary
That's
of all time. I think whoever created it and whoever edits it, thank you. So, according to Urban Dictionary, dating is where two people who are attracted to each other spend time together to see if they can stand to be around each other most of the time. If this is successful, they develop a relationship. Although sometimes a relationship develops anyways if the people can't find anybody else to date them, or are very lonely, or one person is only attracted to the other and pretends to be in love with the second unfortunate person who has the misunderstanding that they have found love. That was a long sentence. This occurs quite often and eventually leads to something called cheating. And I'm going to go on just a little more. There was also a Netflix and chill definition that was right underneath dating, right? Because that is a part of our dating process. Netflix and chill. It is a code for two people going to each other's houses and fucking or doing other sexual related acts. And then last thing I saw was the term seeing each other, right? Which is a term I interchange.
Mm-hmm.
This is when the male half of the relationship does not have the balls to ask out and finally, uh, what? And finally commit to the girl he is keeping on hold. Seeing each other is as, from a man's perspective, it's the test drive. Does he really want this car after he rides it, or should he get another one? From the women's perspective, it's the time in which they believe they are still getting to know each other. Presume they are not ready for a relationship. Okay, this is Urban Dictionary, so
Mm-hmm.
remember the grammar might be a little off.
Mm-hmm.
So for women, this is the time in which they believe they are still getting to know each other. They presume they're not ready for a relationship and dream that they are going out without the tags, a thought which has been planted by the spouse who is in denial. Okay, let's blah, blah, blah. That didn't quite make sense to me. But I assume what they're trying to say, sometimes seeing a person for a woman can be her remaining attached to them, even though she knows that it's not going anywhere. I think that's what they're trying to say. So
Yeah.
anyway, they're just reading that lets me know that there's a lot of different definitions of dating, but I think we just kind of take a stab at it and see what unfolds. But I do want to say that what you said earlier about just getting to know that person
Mm-hmm.
and seeing if what they believe in and what they stand for aligns with your values and morals, that is the best way to go about it. That's dating,
Right.
you know?
And
So yeah.
yeah, and I
Hmm.
think it also it comes back to you. Does this person's values and morals align with my values and morals? And I know I can speak for myself and say that that has also changed along the way, you know? So yeah, it always comes back to the self. So I just want to
Yeah.
include that with this dating experience and this dating conversation is super important because you are exactly what it is that you attract to yourself. So
Exactly. And interestingly enough, when I read the women's perspective, it was interesting that it said that for the woman's perspective, dating is, you know, being attached to this person, knowing that this may not go anywhere, which just reminds me of what you just said. Like you only end up in those situations when you don't check yourself. You don't know yourself. You don't know what you want and what you need, or you know it and you're not committed to getting it,
right.
right? And then you end up you end up in the situationships. So I think one thing we want to do here is encourage people to know thyself, trust thyself, commit to thyself, especially our ladies. I mean, all people, but especially the sisters, because this is soul sister speak.
Right. Absolutely. If you didn't know, yeah, this is what we do over here. I'm grateful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's it the dating life for me or dating in general, what I would deem to be dating has shown me so much about myself. Um, there have been moments where I say, you know what, I'm cool with a situationship. Like I got a lot of stuff going on. Like if I can get in how I fit in, I don't really need a title. I don't really, need all of the emotion behind it. I'll rock with this. But then there's certain times where it's like, wait, no, I don't want a situationship anymore, you know? Now I want something a little more maybe committed. Yeah. And being okay with that. But then knowing that the only way that I can actually receive that commitment is if I commit to myself, like you just mentioned. And yeah.
Yeah. And that's hard work.
Yeah,
V,
absolutely. Absolutely. It is a lot of hard work.
it's worth it, but like, there are people who they want to date multiple people, right? And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. You just need to communicate that with yourself and to another individual. There comes a time when you're like, I don't want to date other people. I just want to see you, right? But that takes a lot of bravery, a lot of courage,
Mhm.
and a lot of willing to speak on it and know that you might lose the person you're with, but being okay with that. Right. And so I think, I know for me, we'll talk about it later, like how I approach dating, but I just hope that, and people listening, like they know that you have the freedom to do what you want. You have the freedom to honor yourself. You have that freedom. You just have to have the discipline and the courage and the confidence, and you need to believe that ultimately, if you commit to what it is that you want, that you will end up with that, and you will be all the happier for it.
Absolutely.
That's all.
This,
But yeah,
the discipline, the courage, the commitment, I just want to put it under one umbrella and say you have to love yourself. Self-love. You know, all
yep.
those things fall under you have to love up on yourself and know that you are the prize at the end of the day. You are what matters most, period.
Yeah.
And honor yourself first. That's the ultimate form of commitment and courage and discipline, self-love.
Self-love. And that's how you end up in bomb dating situations.
Mm-hmm.
Which, matter of fact, let's talk about that, right? Let's talk about some of our great, well, let's try to pinpoint one in particular, like one of our best dating experiences that we can recall. I'll let you start us off. what's your best dating experience, or one of your top ones?
So I'm an adventurous type of gal. I like doing things that just make me feel alive. And I enjoy when I encounter individuals who enjoy doing the same thing. I remember a time where I met this young man. We were out. I was with a coworker at a bar, and typically, you know, I'm extremely aligned as far as energy goes. I can pick up on energies very, very well. And when I'm out, it's even more increased because I have to be aware of my surroundings. And I could typically feel when someone is close to me, or in just like that past that personal line, you know, that I've created for myself. But this individual, this young man, I did not feel it at all. And he ended up saying whatever he said to me, and it caught my attention. And we, long story short, my coworker, she was occupied at the restaurant that we were at. We were at a bar. And I said, hey, I'm going to go on this adventure. She said, you be safe. Let me know how everything goes. You go and have fun. I said, all right, I'll catch you on the flip. So we went out and had a ball. Like, we walked and we talked, and then we ended up going to the grocery store and picking out fruit, and then we ended up sneaking the fruit into a movie theater, and then we left the movie theater and ending up at some walking trail, and the night just went on and on and on, and I felt extremely safe the entire time. I felt as though it was a kindred spirit that I was experiencing in that moment. And for me, it was just the thrill of it all, the fun. Like, nothing was planned. Everything was just totally divine, and that's how I like to do things as far as dating. I like to have a good time. I like to have an adventure. It doesn't necessarily mean that we have to go out and spend a whole bunch of money, although, you know, I have kind of raised my prices since then, you know, because I want to see the world, you know what I'm saying? Weekend trip to the Bahamas, why not? If you got it, let's go. But yeah, just having that experience of doing all of the fun things that we were able to pack into one night, and to continue that adventurous journey numerous times afterwards. It was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with him, and it was light. And the amazing part about it is that I didn't even have sex with him. Not one time. Not
Wow.
one time. It was never intimate. It was a different type of experience that I've never experienced before, which is why it's the best dating experience I've had, because it was so much fun and it was so light. It went beyond intimacy.
Wow.
Rare
Whoa.
for me. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
I know. What
Wow.
about you? What is your best dating experience, LC?
Man, I mean, I just have to say that sounds beautiful.
It it made me feel as though I was on a different planet. Like all of the rules and regulations that we set for ourselves, that society sets for us, all of that went out the window. Like all of it. Like, I don't care what time it is. We're out here, we're still up, we're still ready to have fun. We can find something to do, we can do it together, we can have a great time. Let's go.
Yeah, that's the magic in having an actual connection, intellectually, emotionally. And it doesn't, you don't have to know that person for years to have that. You can meet a person and your souls just, they recognize each other, and especially if they've done the work and you've done the work, or this continuous work. That is beautiful. Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. I love it.
Tell me about you.
Okay,
What's
okay.
your first
I
date
mean, I have
experience?
some good experiences. I'm trying to just pick one. I will say there was this gentleman that I had no intentions of dating. It happened. And sorry. You know how you get all those feel good feelings and it makes you giggle a little bit? But we connected. We knew each other as children. And as time went on, we went our separate ways, and we reconnected and we linked up just to hang out because it had been so long since we saw each other. We never had anything. We were never girlfriend and boyfriend as kids or teenagers or anything like that. It was just a good. It was literally like I would see him and he would just be like, "Hey Tasha, how you doing?" And I'd be like, "I'm good. Hey, how are you?" And he'd be like, "I'm good." And that's all we ever did over the years, even on social media. It was just a, "Hey, you good? You good? You good?" And then we met in person, or we reconnected in person, and it was just a vibe. It was like, "Oh, you grew up and look at you now." "Oh, you grew up and look at you, girl." And it just was this immediate and mutual attraction. But I think the thing that made it the best, one of the best experiences, was our conversation.
Mhm.
Um, since you can know somebody for years, but not really know them, right? And
Mhm.
that's how it was. And so as I started to get to know him, he was saying things that I didn't agree with. And it initially made me go, yeah, we're not even gonna, this is never gonna go past 2 dates. But what I enjoyed was that in our conversations, even though we didn't agree with everything the other person said, we were able to still validate each other's feelings and recognize that you have an opinion, and it's okay for you to have that opinion. And I have my own. And I'm going to hear you out. It may affect my opinion, it may not, but we can get past it. It wasn't like this constant, like, I have met a lot of men who think that their word is final, right? Who think that whatever they say goes, that they know everything. If I say this, it's the truth. If I say that, it's facts. I know what a man is and I know what a woman is. I know how a woman thinks, yada 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 yada. And it kills me.
Mm.
And he had moments like that. But I felt as though as he started talking to me, he was like, "You know what? As cocky as I can be, I'm not going to be so cocky that I can't learn." And
Mm.
I started to see him learn and grow. And in him growing, I started to grow, right? And so I guess it's not, I don't know, it's not the most shiny story, but it was just a story of growth. Like we were able to communicate how we felt and our likes and dislikes, and just still respect each other and still find mutual ground, to the point where before you knew it, we were agreeing on almost everything. Because we had worked through so much, right? And I just think that that's beautiful, because there have been times when I didn't feel safe with a person mentally. I felt like I couldn't speak. I couldn't say my true thoughts. I couldn't be my full self and exude my true nature. And I was able to do that in a safe space, and he was as well. And ultimately, we grew tremendously. Our emotional intelligence went through the roof with an F. And that is beautiful, because that gives me hope, because that is what I want. You know what I mean? That gives me hope. And so there was some romantic things. Let me not leave that out. A little slow dancing, no physical, no sexual activity, just touching, caressing, slow dancing, compliments, all those things. I love to be adored. I love to know that I'm being heard. I love to know that I'm valued. And he did that. And I did that as well. So it was beautiful. It was beautiful. That's all. It was so beautiful.
It sounds like it was a beautiful experience for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, yeah. I think it's so important for and this is just coming to me right now. It's important to listen to the things that came up for us through those two experiences. Like I heard you say that you love to be valued, and for me, I love to have a good adventure. Like I just love that thrill, that energy. I think it's so important for us to know our own values and create experiences where we are having our own adventures, with ourselves, by ourselves, with those that we love and those that we cherish. I just wanted to throw that in there.
Yeah.
So that was the best dating experience that LC and myself have had. And let's talk about the worst dating experience. LC, you want to kick that off?
Yeah, this is gonna be a short one
Yeah,
because
for real.
those don't last that long. At least I try not to make them last long. Long story short, I was seeing this guy, dating him, whatever term we choose to use, and oh my gosh, I was just like, he's so gorgeous. I was blinded by his looks. Like I just thought he was so gorgeous. He was very gorgeous man.
Mm,
Um, but he was not, he didn't keep his word, right? He would say, I'm going to see you or I'm going to do this and that. And he would cancel, right? And then when I would try to talk about it, he would just be so super avoidant. He would avoid my questions, answer my questions with questions. And then he would tell me, like, when I see you, I see my future. I see a future. I see, he would say these things to kind of shut me up, right? But then these things also kept me attached, right? And I found myself being led on. But I also realized that I was arrogant. I learned a lot about myself because for a long time, I didn't think it was possible for anybody to lead me on.
mhm.
And he strung me along to the point where, you know, I was like, I want a relationship with this guy. Um, and only to find out that he was still seeing his ex. He was
Right.
still seeing his ex. And I was like, now it makes sense why he wasn't keeping his word, why he couldn't be there with me and do things with me as consistently as I wanted him to. And on the flip side, I was able to, like, at the end of it, towards the end of it, I started questioning myself, right? Examining myself. And then that was how I was able to walk away from it. I started saying, well, why are you why are you okay with what he's doing? Why do you want a relationship with somebody who is not consistent, who doesn't keep their word? What is it in you? What are you lacking? What is it that is making you latch on to him? Right? Why are you okay with him? When he finally told me about his ex, for half a second, a part of me was like, well, just choose me. Just choose me. Like, don't pick her, pick me. And I'd never been in that point before, but I started recognizing that I had been spending a lot of my time in a place of arrogance and a
Mhm,
place of, but also in a childlike place
mhm,
of wanting to be seen so bad and chosen so bad that I was okay with accepting BS,
mhm.
right? And so, yeah, I ultimately had to let that beautiful man go.
Ta-ta, motherfucker.
Ch- Chow. That's on period poo. Period poo. That's what they be saying. 100. 100 with the little squiggly lines under it. So yeah, that was probably it was, and it was just the worst because it really, I could like I know people have bad experiences for many reasons, but it was one of the worst for me because I had to face these ugly parts of myself that I was not prepared for, didn't even want to, didn't even, oh, I was pissed off. Because at the end of it, I cried, I was mad, and I was like, ugh. But I was feeling those ways towards him, but also ultimately towards myself.
Mhm.
So that was that. And I had to embark on a journey of self-evaluation after that. So that was it. That was one of my worst ones. Whoo, your turn on the stand. Take the stand, Miss B Nicole.
Well, thank you so much for inviting me to the stand, Sister LC. Thank you. This will be very short and brief, I promise you. Back before the whole pandemic, I was very big on treating myself, going out, spending time with myself, you know, taking myself out to nice restaurants, taking myself, just nurturing and loving on myself. Like, yeah, I think a lot of the times I would hit you up like, hey, I'm out. How are you doing? You know, and it was one of these nights after a long day of work. I went to this bar. Me and my bar stories. Hold on, y'all.
Hey, yes.
Bar. And there was this guy sitting next to me. He had on like this nice, it wasn't a suit, but I could tell that he was like a businessman.
Oh.
And he had an accent. It sounded like he was French, and he was melanated. He had some melanin up in there because if you don't know, I do not date outside of my race. Anyway, melanated brothers all day long. Okay. So I think I asked him what he was sipping on, and he said whatever he said, and then we just continued with this conversation, and he was telling me about where he's from, and I honestly don't remember, but it was somewhere exotic, and his father was like this millionaire, and he had all these factories around the world, and he was a businessman, and he travels pretty much every other week to different locations just to make sure that all of the business is okay, because once his father, you know, transitions, all of it will go to him. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, interesting, like just asking these questions because, you know, I'm all about business. Like, teach me something. I love a man that could teach me something. I'm a Capricorn too. If he could teach me something about business, honey, I am all ears. So he decided that he wanted to reconnect with me. And I was like, cool, awesome, we can reconnect. So he chose the spot. I met him there. And long story short, because we're gonna keep this nice and brief, I was hearing his conversation in regards to just women in general, because I was asking a lot of questions, like, so, because what it was I would hear him talk about his father so much, and he had his father on this pedestal, you know, and then when he talked about his mother, it was just a different type of vibe and a different type of energy, which sparked my attention immediately because I'm a woman. And I want to know what your connection is to your mama, for real, as a man, and what you think and how you feel about women. His culture, and I cannot remember exactly where he was from at the moment, because honestly, when I tell you it was over before it fucking began, and this is why, he was basically saying, you know, that mom took care of the house, took care of the family, she supported dad and his business and worked in his shops and factories and blah, 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 blah. But still there was this level of respect missing, and I felt that through his conversation. And then I also felt that when he was saying, you know, yeah, you can quit your job and you can come and work for me, and I'll pay you double what you're paying now, and you'll just have to do this, and this. I'm like, skirt, skirt. Like, I know that, you know, wherever you're from, you do it a little different, but I'm already picking up on the energy that you feel a certain kind of way about women. Like, there's a lack of respect as it pertains to women, just your culture, what it is, that how you were raised, just how you view women. It's more like women are more like what's the word? Like accessory, like a trophy, you know, just kind of like something to like play your part woman type thing. You know what I'm saying? And I got super fucking offended. And at that point, like, I'm having this conversation with him and asking these specific questions just to see how he respond. I was probably like on my second Long Island, and I'm like, all right. At this point, I didn't want to ask any more questions because I knew what I knew. I was like, listen, this paid for my food, this drink, I'm gone. Yeah, it was the worst, because it really, I mean, just because the energy, you know, to know that it's certain men out here who look at women and view women as just, you know, a couple of different things: a piece of ass, a maid, a vessel for children, for their kings or their sons, so that their sons could go on and continue on with their legacy and the family business and all of that stuff. Women are supposed to cook, clean, fuck, make sure the man is good. Like, there are certain men who thoroughly believe this. And I'm not knocking those men, you know, I know that people are their experiences, but yeah, it was just,
it wasn't for you.
Absolutely not. And it bothers me. Still to this day, I'm feeling kind of like, what the fuck? Because they're first, it made me look at myself. It really made me evaluate where it is that I was on my journey then, that attracted this type of man to myself. Like, I feel as though back then I was probably in a place where it's like, I was tired because I work, you know, I work hard. I with the help of my honorable ancestors, the great divine source, I'm able to maintain and sustain what it is that I have. And I'm so grateful for that. But I feel like I was at a place like, I kind of wanted to let go and release just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, dag, it would be great if I had someone here to assist me and help me, you know, but at the same time, I'm not willing to sell my fucking soul. And this pussy is definitely not for sale. You know what I'm saying? I'm not about to allow any man or woman, for that matter, to tell me what it is that I'm going to do, how a woman should behave. It is my duty to give birth to your, you know, like all of that. I just don't assign to that type of thinking. I don't. But yeah, it made me really evaluate what it is that what are my values and
exactly
my morals. And yeah, granted, I'm not a feminist, you know. I won't claim that, because I feel like the feminist movement is it's a little tricky. I feel like there is some agenda within that realm, especially when it comes to women of color. I do believe that I'm a woman who needs a man. I do require a man. I do want my partner, you know. I do need that masculine energy. I do, you know. But as far as subscribing to buffoonery, I will do no such thing. I will not sell my soul to be with a man or for some money or to be taken care of. Which is a totally different topic, because I feel like we at the end of the day, we all kind of do that to some extent if you work in a 9-to-5 job, but that's a totally different topic.
Right.
But yeah, that for sure was a bad dating experience, and a very reflective dating experience, which is why I'm grateful.
Yeah, I love it. It all comes back to you. It all comes back to what it is. What the fuck do you want?
Yeah.
And what it even just mentioning a 9-to-5, it comes down to like, what are you willing? What can you accept and what can't you accept? Right. And you need to be real with yourself. Because I guarantee you, every day that you're not real with yourself is every day that you are not living your best life, as we say. That's every day. So many of us end up in these fucked up relationships or dating, or we extend the dating period because we don't want to address ourselves. Because addressing ourselves means seeing the ugly, seeing what isn't pretty. But the reality is that the more you choose not to address it, the more that ugliness is staring right back at you. Correct. And so you have to make up your mind. If you are okay with toxicity, okay, that is your burden to bear. You go and be happy with toxicity. But don't come over to me, your friend that doesn't like toxicity, and want me to hear all of these problems, because I don't subscribe to it. And I personally don't think anybody should subscribe to toxicity, because it's not good for your psyche. All of toxicity is not for us. Joy is for us. Peace is for us. That is what I claim, right? People say I'm lit. I'm lit. For me, being lit means eliminating as much toxicity as I can. It means fighting my demons, myself, right? I go to the gym every day. Not every day. No, not every day. But I go to the gym because I want my body to be strong, right? I read about psychology. I read affirmations to myself. I meditate. I do yoga because I want my mind to be strong. I have friends that hold me accountable because I want my discipline and my will to be strong. Everything else, I'm not for it. I'm not with the shits and the giggles, and I'm with the kiki and the ka if it's not that. And so you really have to face yourself and know yourself. Hey y'all, we had a very small technical difficulty, so thank you for sticking around. If you were still, listening and vibing with us, I was just encouraging you to address yourself, be honest with yourself, commit to yourself, okay? Because you deserve it, and that's how you're going to live your best life. That's all, y'all.
Absolutely, that is a word. And I just also wanna include a reminder to everyone listening that it is so important for you to be patient with yourself. Because even when it comes to dating, not just dating, all things, you're going to have some trials and you're going to have some errors. I want you to know that you are, whether you know it or not, on a spiritual journey. And not only are you learning things and correcting things from your past life, but you're also learning what it is to become accustomed to this realm that we're on. And on top of that, you are carrying this genetic code of your ancestors. So those who have come before you, who have their own traumas, who have their own areas of improvement. I'll say that. And you're carrying that weight on your shoulders. They're looking to you for you to continue on with their legacy and right the wrongs and heal those areas of improvement that they have and that you have. So just know that that will be reflected in various aspects of your life, dating, in the work field, in your friendships. So I just want to remind you to be in your family, especially your direct bloodline. Of come on, because they're carrying that same DNA, that same genetic code, So yeah, just be patient with yourself as you venture off into all realms, the dating realm. Since we're talking about that today, I just wanted to add that reminder in there because that's super, super important. You have to have these experiences. You have to. That's why you're here.
Yep.
To have them and to learn from them and grow from them. But that choice is totally up to you to do. So yeah, I just wanted to add that in there real quick.
We needed that. We needed that. Thank you. That's 100% truth. Yes. Yeah. All right. Now you mentioned earlier that you have not dated outside of your race. But let me ask you this though. I know that you date melanated people, and race can be really tricky, right? Because you have ethnicity and nationality. I believe, maybe, I don't know. Have you dabbled in other nationalities? And speaking of geographies, like people that are not from America, even though, we technically not from America either, but you know what I'm saying. Other nationalities, have you dabbled in those?
I have. I have definitely dabbled. And yeah, like I was saying earlier, different individuals from different locations have different experiences and they are able to then form different ways of being and thinking and behaving. And yeah, I will say one of my longest relationships was with a man who was from Zambia. And like he was literally born and raised there. He came to America when he was 11. And yeah, that was an a very interesting relationship that I learned a lot from. Of course, we dated at one point. But yeah, for the most part, he was extremely attentive, very, very, very consistent, powerful energy. I've also dated a Jamaican man, and that situation has definitely shaped my thinking. I've learned a lot from all of my dating experiences, but men who are not originally from America, like I said, definitely have a different way of thinking as it pertains to women of color.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I feel like I'm just going to leave that right there. I feel like I said what I had to say on that. You know, it's certain things that I don't necessarily subscribe to, and I'm not going to. At least where I am right now, because like I was saying earlier, you know, things change, you know, people minds develop, they become more open, and more knowledge is instilled within them as they continue on with their journey and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, if I feel as though I'm not being respected as a woman in any kind of way, all bets are off.
Cut it.
All bets are off. And I've been through enough to be able to pick up on those red flags. And then say, I don't care how good you making me feel on the inside. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care how good you look. I don't care how big the wallet. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care if I feel as though you are not respecting me, because this is the thing. You know, we talk about what people can bring to the table, but this is the thing. I am the whole table.
Oh.
I am the table. You know what I'm saying? So if there's ever a moment where I feel like I'm not being respected, and my mind is not being respected, my spirit is not being respected, then I'm not going to continue on with that situation, because I respect myself. And again, I'm on my spiritual journey. Yes, I do fuck up sometimes.
Of course, you
I
have
do
to.
backpedal, you know, sometimes, but those are all my areas of improvement. That's why I always say I'm grateful, because I am experiencing what it is that I'm experiencing in this moment for a reason. But yes, there are those things with men who are not necessarily from America. They don't share the same morals or viewpoints as Americans do. Yeah, I don't subscribe to it all. Some of the things that they believe, as far as, you know, a man needs to be a man. A man is supposed to be the provider and the protector and the individual that's going out and making sure things are as they should be. I do believe that men have that power. That is their lane. And it's a list of other things that I believe men bring to the table. But I also believe that women are powerful, and that women can go out and do the things that they need to do for themselves. And I also believe that, you know, as a man, it's okay for you to take out the damn trash and clean the damn dishes. I believe that that's possible too. I believe that it can be some balance within. It doesn't have to be, oh, my wife is at home, she's gonna clean up everything. Like, maybe your wife I don't want to clean up today, Charlie. I don't know anybody named Charlie, but
Charles.
But yeah, so yeah, that's I definitely dated men who are not from where I am from, and I have ran into some brick walls, and I too have realized that it's certain things that have been instilled within me as a woman. You know, I do sometimes feel as though I'm too masculine. Like, all right, let me fall back and just tap into this divine feminine energy and let this man be this man. Like, yeah, I can do it, and I could do it well and make it look easy, but this man that's right here can also carry all these damn bricks and build this damn house. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, you sure can. Got all the testosterone and muscle to do it.
all of that. I love that. I love being that. That turns me on. I love when a man is a man, but I also love being a woman, and I love being respected. And I love when my man understands, not only values himself, but also values me and the power that I bring. Because I am the table. I'm the table, you know?
Okay.
So, you know, bring your table. Let's make a long.
I was just about to say, let's extend this joint. You know, they got tables that you extend and collapse and extend, like a little, what is that little instrument called? I forgot. I can't think of the name of it.
That thing.
Yeah, accordion. Yeah. Yeah. I haven't in terms of that question, I have dated people from with other nationalities for sure. This tends to be a very black and white question. Have you dated outside of your race? People really just ask you, have you dated a white person? If you're black, you're right. And if you're white, they're really asking you, have you dated a black person? But I've not dated a white individual, not a completely, a person of complete European, what is the word? Descent or DNA? I don't know.
Mm.
But I have I've dated mixed people. I have. So I did, some black and white, which was interesting. And that's such an interesting and delicate thing because you're used to making all these jokes just as they are used to hearing. They're used to the black and white people, they used to hearing the jokes on both ends, the black jokes, the white jokes. And I kept finding, I learned a lot about myself. I was like, dang, I think I might be, if a black person could be racist at that time, I was like, I might be racist if that was possible, because it's
Right.
not possible.
Right.
And I learned a lot from that. I was like, okay, let's really evaluate how we feel about people, and let's make some adjustments, because I don't want to walk through life downing other people or belittling people, because I love people. So I learned a lot in that instance. I dated a black and Chinese guy, which was also very interesting. That was very short.
I bet.
I don't even know. That went by so quick. I don't even remember. It was very short. It was interesting. Black and Puerto Rican, black and Mexican, right? And these are not people I was in relationships with. It's just dating. And it was interesting to hear the men with, the Afro-Hispanic men's
Mm.
views of their mothers. That was very interesting.
Mm.
They weren't the most positive, and it's just my experience. I can't speak for everybody, but they didn't speak with the highest regard of their mothers, which was interesting to me. Yeah. And then nationality wise, I think I've only dated like Ghanaian. Oh, Ethiopian, Ghanaian. It's been interesting. Yeah, it's just been interesting. And I'm not opposed to dating outside of my race. I've not ventured into a full other race. Well, I'm just going to speak in layman terms. I've not dated a white person. And I'm not saying that's I don't know. I didn't really know what I'm trying to say there. I just know that is just something that a lot of people talk about. They talk about that a lot, and I'm not against it. I'm not against it. Some people will say, "I'll never have a pink penis," and I respect that. But I'm not against it. I just don't know what the future has in store for me. I just want to be open. I'm just open. I'm more open to that. So yeah, I encourage people to just get out there and see the world, right? Whether it's melanated people, but you also experience other nationalities, right? All of that is going to add to you to know about these different people. And if you want to extend yourself to white, Asian, South American, whatever other continents and countries exist, then go for it. It's what makes you happy, which leads into my next question, or our next question is how do we approach dating, right? How now that you've had all of these experiences, be with all these people, and I'm not saying your list is 1,000 people long, right? Some people have only dated 2 people, 5 people, whatever. With your specific experience in dating, how are you approaching dating now?
Well, I want to spend a quick second saying that I totally agree. I just want to encourage you all to love whoever it is that you love. Just don't bring that pink shit over here. Period. That's on exclamation point. That's where I'm at with mine.
Girl, I almost spit my water out.
But love who you love. It's a free world. Live your best life. As far as how I approach dating, I also wanted to note that I have lived, and I'm not ashamed of saying that I have lived, okay? I have had plenty and many of experiences in the dating realm. I have explored, my body and the bodies of others, and it's nothing that I'm ashamed of at all.
Yes.
So with that being said, how do I approach dating? Currently, I'm dating myself. So I approach it with self-love. Again, I have to go back to that because I come first and I am what I attract. And in the same breath, I would like to say that I'm also allowing myself to go off of what it is that I feel in the moment. So if it's a matter of there is a young man or an older man who says that they want to take me on an adventure. If I feel as though I want to step away from my work and have fun, then that's what I'm going to go on a goddamn adventure, and I'm going to set my boundaries. And sometimes those change, depending on how I'm feeling that night. Okay, and that is all right. But I will say that I realized that what it is that I used to do in the past, so the Netflix and chilling, the wanting to have certain things or expect certain things from an individual that I was not doing for myself first, that's null and void. That's something that I've realized that I have to change within myself. And again, it goes back to the self-love. It goes back to the self-work. So that's how I'll say I'm approaching dating. I'm approaching it by focusing on my goddamn self first and listening to my spirit and my body, and knowing what it is that I want in the moment, being present, being present, and not thinking too far into the future of, oh, well, if this happens, then this may happen, and then that may happen, and then I revert way back to my old self, like Netflix and chill it, like being present and knowing that I am worthy of everything that I desire,
Yes.
and allowing the universe to give me these grand experiences and teachable moments through the individuals that I experience. That's how I'm approaching dating. What about you? How are
Yes.
you approaching dating?
And I have to copy and agree with so much of that. And I'm sure you know a lot of this because of our sisterhood, which I love. But yeah, self-love is definitely how I'm approaching it. I'm approaching it on a super high intellectual level. And if you know me, I love to know things. I love to know, I just love it. And I love to talk about it. And so, given my experience, I have done a lot of work in knowing myself and what I want, what I need. I know what kind of partner I am. I know how I communicate. I know how I need to be loved. I know how I want to be loved. Okay. And I'm able to communicate that to my partner. So that's how I approach it. I go out on dates and I'm like, so yeah, this is me. This is what I like. This is my love language. This is, and I hit people with that. And I watch closely and I listen closely to them because people are going to tell you who they are, hands down. It's always, whether they say it with words or actions, it is going to come through. So I approach dating with self-love, with emotional intelligence and awareness. I'm listening to you, baby. I'm hearing you. I'm not taking for granted what it is you're saying and what it is you are not saying to me.
Mm-hmm.
And that is how I approach it. And the rest usually just, it allows me not to waste time, which sometimes I really battle with, if there is a such thing as wasting time, but I'm not going to go into that right now. But it allows me to maneuver who I need to maneuver so that I can focus on who deserves my attention.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. And I think that is what everyone should do, regardless of your sexual orientation, whether you're straight, gay, regardless of the way you identify, in terms of your gender, regardless of your economical status, regardless of your religion, whatever it is that you identify with or what box you check off, you have to know what it is you want and stick to it. Stop veering from who you are. Stop. I get frustrated, not just at individuals, but at myself when I do that bullshit. Mm-hmm. Stop veering from your course. Does that mean you can't go and have fun? No. Does that mean you can't go and play, be adventurous, do all these things? No. What it means is that you just have to know what it is that you want. And I get that it takes time to figure that out, but baby, we're all born with this ability to know what makes us feel safe and happy. Whether we are given that as children or not, as we get older, we are able to identify it. And then we have to make the decision to only accept the things that we need and want, specifically the things that we need. So that's how I approach dating. that's yeah, that's all I got. Woo, I'm sweating.
Because that was a sermon, okay? That was a
Come on.
message.
Come on. We trying to
Okay.
tell somebody, we trying to heal somebody. And we know this, as we speak, we are healing ourselves. Okay.
Hello. Hello.
Know this. I'm your sister that's gonna keep it real with you. I'm never gonna make decisions for you, but I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna call it as I see it, and that's all we're trying to do here. So
Absolutely. And through us doing that, being honest and transparent about our experiences, we're able to have this platform and provide this content.
yeah.
And I'm just grateful. I'm so grateful. I just want to say that because there are definitely some jewels being dropped right now. And I hope you all are receiving these messages. Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. So let me ask you,
Yeah.
what is it? Because I'm all for manifestation, you know, like I thoroughly believe that our world, our words, and our thinking creates our world, and our words are also spells. And yeah, you can have whatever you desire. What are you looking for in a partner?
In a partner. What am I looking for in a partner? Ooh, very good question. Ooh,
Yeah,
what am I not looking? No, what am I looking for?
that's what I'm looking for.
Big old swanky danky. Okay.
Ooh, I like that.
What am I looking for? Emotional intelligence. That's always at the top of my list. Well, that is at the top of my list now. It wasn't before. I want you to be able to identify, recognize, and communicate your feelings. And at the same time, recognize mine if I'm communicating it to you. Also, use your context clues to fill it as well, to recognize what I'm putting out. So I'm looking for emotional intelligence. I want to know that we can understand each other. Hold on, y'all. A little water break.
I'll take some with you, some water.
Yeah. And I'm looking for stability and consistency. You know, I want to know, I do want a lifelong partner. And I just want to know that you are dependable and that you are emotionally intelligent and that you are committed to the work that it takes to be those things. I mean, there's so many things that I could list that I'm looking for, but definitely those things. And someone that is healthy. I'm very into, I believe you are as well, holistic, lifestyles. And so I want that to line up, and somebody that is adventurous as well. I'm with you there. I'm with you there. But I really want the foundation that I build with my partner to be based upon emotional intelligence, consistency, and I guess trust would be the other thing I throw in there. So yeah. What about you?
I love this. Oh my gosh, it made me happy because I want you to be happy by yourself, of course, but also I want you to have a partner who adds on to that happiness for sure. So claim that energy because it's here. It's here. It's here. The energy is already here.
Last thing, I want him to be family oriented.
Yes.
Like I want us to enjoy each other. You know what I usually tell people I don't do moms. Like guys be like, "What you mean, my mom?" I'm like, "Nah, I don't do moms." Just because I've had bad experiences with them, because I know what the fuck I am, and it's sometimes I've met mothers who are like, "Well, she just speaks out a little too much," and and I'm just like, "Shut the fuck up!" Like I know what I'm doing.
Shut
It's
up,
not
mom.
my fault. Yeah, it's not my fault. Your son can't make up his mind and acting like a little no, but I am in a place now where I'm like, no, I do want to meet your mom. I want to, and I hope that she loves me, and I hope that I love her. I
Yeah.
want that because as you get older, you realize you are who you marry, or you are who you settle down with. Like their family comes with them, and I want him to love his family, especially his mama, and I want him to love mine as well. So that's what I'm looking for. Okay.
I love that too. Okay. All right.
Fill me in. Tell me.
What I'm looking for in a partner, I would agree with the things that you listed as far as, you know, being family oriented. I remember a young soul rebel. She was like, listen, baby mama, kids, why would I ever? You know what I'm saying? It just was something that was like, but I will say that my mind has expanded since then. And
Wow.
it has, you know, because people have their own experiences within their lives and have their own journeys. So I am more so open than I was before. But one thing I will say is that I'm not with the drama. If you know for a fact that, you know, there may be a Christmas gathering or some fucking holiday where you start reminiscing on the past. I ain't even going into all that. I need my partner
Ooh,
to
child.
value himself, okay? And when I
Mm.
say value himself, I mean you respect yourself, you love yourself. You would never put yourself in any situation where you would dishonor yourself. And if I'm a reflection of you, you would never do anything to dishonor me. Um,
Speak.
I require a man who is in tune with his honorable ancestors, great divine source, and who was actively doing the healing work. You
Mm.
know, I require that. Of course, I require a man who knows how to, you know, take care of me mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, you know, a
Yeah.
man who will teach me and respect me and my mind and my experiences and the lessons that I've learned from them, you know, a man who trusts himself. Um,
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh, the list goes on and on. Man, who is healthy, you know, physically healthy, spiritually healthy, like all of those things. Again, someone who can teach me, you know, someone I can take notes from, someone who loves his community and is doing his part. It doesn't have to be anything major, but to give back to his community. Someone who is honest, you
Ooh,
know,
child.
someone who is honest, someone who is loyal to himself and others, someone who is like just someone who is
Yeah.
love, someone who is loving, someone did I mention someone who knows how to work this body, someone who is adventurous, someone who
Yeah.
travel the world and see different things together, someone who wants to build, someone who wants to leave a healthy and strong, successful legacy.
Yeah.
Someone who
Yeah.
allows me to be me and someone who is comfortable within their own skin. Because
Mm.
one thing I can tell everyone listening is that there are some men out here who are extremely insecure. We all have our insecurities. There are some men who will see your light, who will see your greatness, and will be intimidated by that and do anything in their power to put your fire out. So
Yes.
I require a man who is whole within himself and yeah, who can work this body. Yada yada
Ah,
yada 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 yada.
yes. No, gosh, yes. That's that. Yeah. And it's so it is possible to find a human with these things. Like we listed off several things, and that could overwhelm somebody and make them think that that's impossible. But it's not, because you don't have to be perfect. Even if you're all those things, that doesn't mean that you're perfect. It just means that you've done and you are doing the work to honor yourself. As you said, B, it all comes back to self. It always comes back to your freaking self. Always. And so if you have to be willing to deal with yourself. And what did you say? Honor yourself.
Mhm.
Yeah. I love that. Like, what? Work this body? Not, like, what? Like, you know how many women I've seen destroyed by men as well because the men are so insecure? And in turn, I've seen women destroy men because they are so insecure.
Mhm. Absolutely.
And so I think we definitely, we're gonna wrap up in a moment, but we want to leave people encouraged. Like, you can achieve all these things, and we speak these things regularly. Or I know I'm constantly thinking about it. I'm speaking about it, even though I'm focusing on myself right now. I am focusing on my work and what I need to do, the transitions I need to make. But I'm still thinking about all the things I want, because guess what? I deserve it.
Yes, you do.
We deserve it.
Yes,
And
we
oh, the other thing is, I didn't say, is that your partner should think that you deserve the best as well.
do. Mm-hmm.
Just like you should walk into it thinking they deserve the best. Right? So as long as we are honoring ourselves and honoring our partners, like, what? It don't get no better than that. But I guess, if it was that easy, everybody would be doing it. So
Right.
it is a journey,
Yes.
but it is an achievable journey. So I just encourage you guys to get in there, keep dating if you are dating. If you're in a relationship already, you can still grab a hold to some of the gems that were dropped, some of the our experiences that we shared. You can still apply that. It's never too late to change. It's never too late to start honoring yourself. It's never ever too late. Ever. Just do it.
Never ever, never ever, never ever, never ever. Oh, sorry, y'all. Sorry, y'all. I love trap music.
Yes.
Yeah. So with all that
Uh,
being said, LC, do you have any Black-owned businesses or organizations that you would like to spotlight tonight? Well, today it's daytime. Sorry, y'all.
whenever y'all are listening, it's all good.
True, true.
Right. I would like to. Wow. I would like to honor or shout out two people. One is Cerese. Well, there's a jewelry boutique called Cerese D Jewelry. It's located in Atlanta. You can also purchase online. Cerese, Cerese, capital D, jewelry.com is the website. You can also put that into your Google Maps or whatever you have to find it in Atlanta. They sell beautiful, phenomenal jewelry. I am wearing one piece here. This is honestly not even like, this is this does not compare to the work that they do. I would encourage you to check them out. If you are a sorority or fraternity, if you're in the Divine Nine, they specifically cater to you as well. They have jewelry for all of the events, crossing over or banquets that you attend. They can provide you with your exact color scheme. And then I also want to shout out Jason Warrior, who is from my hometown, Chicago. He is on American Idol right now. And so please show your support to him. He is an amazing singer. He has overcome so much. He's been on The Voice before, made an appearance on Sunday's Best, and now he's on American Idol. He's the true definition of fighting for your dreams. Fighting for your dreams. So yeah, those are my folks. Do you have anybody you want to shout out?
I love that. I absolutely love that. Yes, please support. Yes, I do have a sister that I would like to spotlight today by the name of Raven Williams, who is a certified nutritionist and personal trainer and Yogi. She is amazing, and her story is definitely one that I feel as though should be told. So if you would like to connect with Raven, visit www.findyourlightmomma.com. And that's Momma, MOMMA.com.
I love that. Find your
Yeah,
light, mama.
yeah.
Nice.
She's a powerful sister, so check her out.
Yeah, I love that. What's her last name? Raven Williams?
Raven Williams.
Yeah, Raven Williams. Go and check them out. Beautiful. Well, I mean, I hope that you guys enjoyed us. We enjoyed talking. If you feel so inclined, we would love to hear about some of your dating experiences, some of your best dating experiences and why, some of your worst and why, your encouragement to us, to others, because at the end of the day, as sisters, we are in it together, and we're going to promote the health and the healing of each other. Our words count, our words are matter, our experiences matter, and they heal. So please share, like, subscribe, communicate with us. Da 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 da, sister.
How can the
That's
people
it.
find you, LC? How can they
Oh,
find
yes.
you?
Yeah. You can find me on Instagram at LC_Frazier. That's the letter L and the letter C_Frazier at on Instagram. What about you, B?
Awesome. If you would like to connect with me, Bee Nicole, visit www.rebelassemblage.com. Stay tuned for more virtual events. I'm all about community and connecting, so stay connected with me, you all. And yeah, that's how you can find me. I want to thank you all for checking in with us, staying with us, rocking with us. Please, like LC said, like, comment, subscribe, and share. If you have a sister that you feel as though would benefit from connecting with us, please invite
Yes.
her. Invite her to the next party, virtual shindig, let's
Yes.
call it that.
Please do. We're only on the up and up from here. We humble beginnings for sure. And then we want to relate to everybody and hope they relate to us. And yeah, we're just gonna keep doing our thing for however long the universe tells us to. Right?
Right?
It has been a pleasure. I love you, B.
I love you, LC.
Thank you. Thank you for loving me. And that's been another episode of Soul Sisters Speak. We'll see y'all next time. Mwah. Oh, a little. Oh, yes.
That's what you was. Yada
What
yada
is it?
yada 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 yada. Take that. Take it. Take it. Take it. Take it. Take it. Take it. Damn.